is far more complex than most people imagine. On one side are media-friendly figures who try to operate within the law, often with devastating consequences. The movie Kick-Ass opens by asking a simple question: with so many superhero movies and comic books, why hasn't anyone decided to become a real superhero? As crime continues to rise in many countries and police departments face growing limitations, why hasn't someone created a secret identity and taken to the street to fight criminals? While this idea serves as the foundation of the film, reality tells a very different story. People like that actually exist. Around the world, there are individuals who wear masks, hide their identities, and patrol the streets in an attempt to fight crime, much like the superheroes found in comic books. Today, we're taking a closer look at these real-life vigilantes. Law enforcement agencies face many legal limitations when bringing criminals to justice. Suspects have legal rights that some people believe slow down or even prevent immediate justice. As a result, various vigilante groups have emerged over the years. Let's begin with one of the most famous examples: Phoenix Jones Murderbars. After becoming the victim of several crimes, this mixed martial arts fighter decided to take justice into his own hands, frustrated by what he saw as an inadequate police response in Seattle, Washington. He built a bulletproof suit, armed himself with pepper spray and knives, and began patrolling the city streets at night alongside a group of like-minded individuals who also viewed themselves as superheroes. Numerous videos on YouTube show him confronting suspected criminals and helping people in need. Unlike many vigilantes throughout history, however, Phoenix Jones generally tried to stay within the limits of the law rather than acting as judge, jury, and executioner. Even so, experts point out that citizen intervention in criminal situations often lacks proper due process, creating serious legal risks for both the vigilante and the justice system itself. After becoming well known throughout Seattle, his career as a real-life superhero eventually collapsed because of multiple legal problems, including arrests and assault allegations. Over time, he went from being viewed as a community protector to becoming a highly controversial figure, eventually abandoning his masked alter ego altogether. History also offers far more extreme examples. One of them was the Balnovers, a vigilante organization that operated in Missouri during the late 19th century. It is important to distinguish between modern superhero-style vigilantes and groups such as the Balnovers or later Death Squads, while individuals like Phoenix Jones are often seen as eccentric community activists. Organizations like these relied on violence and extrajudicial killings to impose their own version of justice. The Balnovers were reportedly responsible for killing at least 30 suspected criminals in less than 2 decades. For years, many of their members remained anonymous, eventually becoming legendary figures who even inspired books and movies. However, their campaign of violence ultimately turned against them. As shootings and murder became increasingly common, public opinion shifted dramatically. Many of the group's leaders were eventually arrested, tried, and executed by the state, bringing an end to their self-appointed system of justice by the late 1880s. Another well-known example is the Davao Death Squad in the Tar Philippines. This group became notorious for kidnapping and executing suspected criminals and has been accused of being responsible for the deaths of at least 300 people since its creation in 1990. The case eventually drew international attention. What began as a local vigilante organization in the city of Davao, allegedly operating under the supervision of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, became the subject of global investigations into crimes against humanity. More recently, in March 2025, former President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested and transferred to the International Criminal Court. He faces legal proceedings related to these allegations. Like these groups, there are other individuals around the world who have chosen to fight crime and corruption by adopting secret identities and wearing masks, much like comic book superheroes. However, the reality of becoming a vigilante is far more dangerous than fiction often suggests. It means risking your own life without the training, authority, legal protections, or institutional support available to law enforcement officers. Many security experts warn that these actions can actually escalate violence instead of reducing it, while also interfering with legitimate police investigations. For that reason, when Kick-Ass asks why no one has ever decided to become a real superhero, it starts from a false premise. People like that already exist. You only need to visit the cities where these vigilantes operate to find individuals willing to risk everything in an attempt to keep their communities safe. And in many cases, their efforts end with legal trouble, public controversy, or even the loss of their own lives. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment below. It really helps support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.